Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kyle. We're at RRHQ 2.0, and we're going to be electricians today. So all you guys just go ahead and get your fingers ready to leave comments on how wrong we're doing everything, and that's typically the way it goes when you do electrical on the internet. But I'm okay with that because this is my shop, and I do know how to do electrical, at least safely. I've been working on some wiring, but we're going to be trying to set up the layout for all the lighting on the ceiling. I've gone online, I've looked at different, calculators to determine what I needed, and we're now gonna try to get this laid out. So the only thing is I'm gonna modify a little bit so that I can be a little bit more thoughtful, because I'm gonna be doing a steel ceiling. I can't just put the electrical, whatever is perfectly dimensional. I need to think about my rib layout. So the first thing Greg and I are gonna do is get our steel layout on this ceiling as it will be when we install it. So let's get into it. 43.7 1/4. What lens?
We'll roll with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Same.
So we're gonna go basically something like this. Okay.
Why is that light a little bit more funky than the rest?
Yeah, this one's a little bit weird, but not all lights are created equal. This distance, this distance, this distance, this distance is what I'm looking for equal. Mm-hmm. We know our ribs are 9" on center, so once we found the center rib, we just basically got the closest center flat to our perfect layout, which is not gonna be perfect. It's basically close. It's within, what, 2 inches here and 2 inches there, 3 inches. So
you might hate me a little bit, but what if we did 1 foot rib spacing?
I'm not doing 1 foot ribs.
You're not gonna do the 1 foot ribs?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't want 1 foot ribs. And the reason I don't want 1 foot ribs, because I don't think they look as good when they're in a ceiling. I think there's more, and I could screw more, but there's just too much flat. I think it has too much of a
oil can.
I don't like it. No. Oh, hey, I got an idea. Instead of going up in the ceiling and mapping this all out, let's do it the easy way. Let's map the floor, because the floor is the same as the ceiling, only opposite.
The other thing you got to figure out is how far off.
Yeah, we'll figure that when we get our lines, or we get our. Yeah, I gotta. Okay.
Your brain.
Is braining pretty hard right now. Let's see. Okay. So this first one's going to be at 5 foot 8 1/8. Okay. Then we're going to be at 16 2 1/8.
I got the lock on that.
Okay. So 68 1/8. So we're going to go 77 1/8.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I got to give it to DeWalt. This precision little dial here is pretty nice. Okay.
Go a little more towards the wall. Oh, yep.
Good enough.
Like that.
All right, and we got our line up there. So now we can go ahead and get our first row of boxes mounted. So I just need to get a dimension on this maybe. I need a tool belt. That's what I need. I'm already tired. I'm gonna get this one and do it kind of annoyingly, but then after this, I'm getting my tool belt, because this is, I don't know where my pencil is. I do have a marker. This is annoying. Man, if I only had a hammer and a pouch. Oh, hey, cool, thanks, man. Nice work. Stabilo levels. Okay, so boom, that'll give me a nice solid mounting location, dead center. Really don't want to put a billion screws in here, you know? I'm not gonna do one there because that's where my box is gonna go. Good, 1 down, 11 to go, Greg. That was easy.
Still shoots out quite a bit of sawdust.
You
ready?
Oh, that's because you don't cut right. I watched you cut, and I meant to tell you this. Pull it all the way out.
And slide it.
Don't chop. Pull it out.
Okay. A little bit more. Other way. Whoa. That would be a cool shot in reverse.
What the frick? Did you go 22 and 7/16?
Oh, 21. You probably meant 20 and 7/16. Mm-hmm. Why'd you throw that so hard at me?
I was doing the same thing in reverse.
Oh, it's gonna be awkward to go.
All right, we got our boxes mounted. We got the laser laying them out perfectly. So now we're gonna move on to running our Romex to get them all wired up. Yeah, okay, you go ahead and go up there and feed it down then.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm keeping it as close to the run as possible for it to be the most accurate.
Well, it will be when we go over there.
See,
You know, one thing at a time, my
is
good.
not-
Hey, no, that's screwed.
okay.
Listen, here's the thing, right? Stud frame, as you can see right here, we drill a hole in the middle of the stud and we pull our wire through. Post frame, pretty sweet. We've got an interior girt and we've got our air control layer, which is the Myrex. We don't ever have to penetrate this to run our wiring. We can just run it right on the inside and we're gonna staple it right here. People are gonna have a problem with that, I'm sure, because of the potential that someone could put a screw in and this would be sitting here. Listen, if you can't hit your 5.5-inch 2x girt and you put a screw here, you need to do something different.
You need to stop or switch your career.
Yes, I would agree. But, you know, you could say, well, what about in the future when somebody comes in there and they, you know, blah, blah. It's like, well,
Then that's their problem.
I don't know. I go back and forth on the conduit thing all the time because I realize it would allow me to do future work very easily. But
First of all, you shouldn't be just throwing holes in your wall wherever you want.
well, I agree. And I take pictures of everything. So I'm going to know where everything is
And
anyway.
you know what? If people are really that curious with this build,
They can follow
they
it.
just go to YouTube
Sure.
/RR Buildings and see how it was built. How much more you want?
Let me get it close to the box. Don't give me any more yet.
That's how much you got there.
Okay, I'm going to need more. I need about another, give me another 2.5 feet maybe. See, this is gonna come down here. That's good enough for me, brother. All right, let's get some staples and we'll work this all back, take all of our slack out, and then this will be the power line that we're gonna run for our lights up there on the ceiling. To me, it's like, I never understood why plumbers need to be licensed and inspected, but there's no electrical inspection needed. You know what I'm saying?
Probably more important.
Yeah. By the way, there's going to be a bunch of framing on this wall, and I know how that framing is going to get framed. So this is actually going to be an open cavity, and we did this on purpose so that we could run this wiring. So this will actually be buried in the wall. It'd be all good. Boom, power ran. We got our 3-way. Now what we have to do is we got to get a wire from this location, which is the switch, to our lights. But let's go ahead and do the easy part first, Greg. All right, so as long as we can get here, we'll be able to run down. Can you get through that one?
Wait. Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Now we're cooking with gasoline.
Now we got a system of down.
Okay, boom.
Come on, dog.
I'm so strong.
The grippers.
Bro, I got gorilla grippers.
Get that side first.
No. Lights. Okay.
Mid,
Huh?
because we're at the...
No, this is the shop. That's the RV. This is the wood shop.
Not confusing at all.
I know. That's why I did it that way, so it wouldn't be confusing. Okay. Leave that there. That's all those wires ran. Okay, so that means that all we have to do now is we need to get our three-way over there again. We'll make another run. Then that sucker will be ready. We can run power to it. That'll power up top. And then we'll also need to take a switch up or power to switch up to those
three-way.
lights. No, just a two-way. Okay. I'm hungry, dude. I'm looking for a
donut.
A donut. You know what I think would be nice if we had like a little like block or something that we stuck in there, and then it would create the frictionless opening that we wanted. Let's see, Greg, I'm going up high, right? Not down low, or am I going down low, not high?
What do you have over there? Up there, you have all the wires on top of the board. But is that a little high?
I don't think it matters. We're tall people.
Yeah, we're tall. Yeah, that's why you always gotta be... Block's not screwed in.
No.
Okay.
Give me a little more.
It's the same.
Nah, it wasn't the same.
All right.
Okay, all right. Good job. That block was just there to...
I about died.
No, that's fake
What
news.
would have happened is I would have like fell backwards, started grabbing for things, grabbed that electrical box, and fry it up.
No. Death is inevitable. It's just when and where. Well, we got all the wiring that we needed ran for this area, as well as we've got our wiring ran for our RV area over here, which is this is what I'm designating this space over here where the ceiling goes higher. We got RV, we got workshop, and we got wood shop. So we got 3 sections. That is why we had to run 3 12-3 wires. So we've got 3 ways all over the place, you know, so you can walk in one spot, turn it on, flip it off as you're going the other way. The next thing I'm gonna do is I will get boxes mounted so I can get all my switches located by the doors, and then also start wiring up lights. Even though I don't have my ceiling done yet, I think it's easy enough to just undo some wire nuts as Greg and I install our metal. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my lights, get them operable so I can work out here. It's just getting so dark in the morning. So that's what I'm gonna work on now, is wiring up my lights, and then I'll get to connecting the power. And then we get to see how this shapes up, because that's what I'm most excited for. I just want to see if it's bright enough. I hope it's bright enough.
I think so. I mean, 12 of those lights, yeah.
Well, time will tell. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my first switch box. Each light section is gonna have a 3-way switch here. And I was originally gonna do a 4-switch box here, but that was because I was gonna control my porch lights. I think I might just do a separate box altogether so that it's kind of a separate deal. Like I might even just put on a timer and have like a timer switch that I can just set up so that it's on and off during certain times of the day, you know? So we'll get set up here, and I gotta get these wires all situated. All right, so there is many different ways to wire up a 3-way switch depending on if the power is coming into the light fixture, if it's coming into the switch that you're wiring, if it's coming into the other switch that is going to be the three-way switch. So right here, I've got my power coming in. I've got my shop light power here, so this is going out to the shop lights. And then I've got my three-way that goes to the switch way on the other side of the wall. So this should be ready and wired. And now I'll go ahead, I'll wire the other switch, and then we'll get a light installed, hook it up to the breaker panel, and see if it works. All right, I got the breaker hooked up. I've got the other switch done. So now it's the moment of truth. Ooh, we got light. Now, when I walk over to the switch behind the RV, will it shut off? Because that's the point of the three-way. And that turned it off. And if I just fast forward over here to the other switch again, boom. Heck yeah. All right, so now that's one of 12. I got 11 more lights to hook up. It's really hard to tell if this light is going to be enough. I mean, one light is not enough, but when I get all 12, this space should be illuminated really nice. All right, it's going to be dark for a little while. I'm using the DJI Action, got the DJI mic, and so maybe the video quality won't be horrible, but it's going to be a little bit dark for just a little bit till I get these wired up. Okay. Now this is all going to be temporary. So as I put my metal ceiling up, I will cut the hole out in the metal, and then we will do all the wiring perfect. But this is all just for now. Make sure everything works, and just have light up here. It's literally dark and miserable in here otherwise. All right, I'm not even going to test. We're gonna put all 4 of these in this row, and then we'll check it. Okay, let's go down and turn it on, see how it looks. It'll be 4 of the 12 lights, so this will give me a good idea what it's gonna look like illuminated across the shop, even though it should get brighter, and I can check my, I'll be able to check my foot candles. Oh yeah, dude. Wow, what a difference. Oh yeah. So one thing I want to do now that I have these lights is to kind of measure my foot candles and see where I'm at. I got my Klein light meter here. This one, so I'm directly under this one on the end, it's 51. And as I go here to the next one in, I'm gonna go up because I'm getting light from the other sources. 62. Now I've got another light that's starting to get into play here with that light there. Okay, I definitely don't want to be lower than 50, but we still have 8 more lights to put in. So that's gonna increase the foot candles. Right now we were sitting at roughly in the mid 50s, 60s, which I think I'm pretty happy with for the workshop area. And then obviously when I get into the actual wood shop area where my future wood shop plans on being, that is where I want an even higher foot candle amount. And that'll probably just come from a lot more lighting. So these high bays look pretty good. That's pretty cool. So now I got a really good feeling as to what the shop light is gonna look like. Now this is a 4000K. I'm not a huge fan of super blue light. 5000 is doable. I don't mind 5000. However, I had these lights already for my last shop. I never put them in, and it just seemed wasteful not to use them. If I end up saying, you know, I want 5000K, I want more, you know, a higher color rendering index number or CRI, whatever that is, I could do that, but this costs me no money, just some time to hook up. So we're gonna definitely rock with this. So let me know, guys, do you think this looks great? It's already late, it's like 7:30 at night. Probably gonna go in, do some work in my office, spend some time with my family, and I'll be back here tomorrow with Greg. We'll get the rest of these all ran. I'm excited. So all this lighting is going to come back down, obviously, when we do our metal ceiling. But the way the metal ceiling goes up, we will, as we do a run, we'll just unconnect the lights that are being affected. And then as we put our steel through, we'll reconnect them. So it'll allow us to have light in here regardless. And I'm just gonna put I don't know how I'm gonna do these boxes yet, if I'm gonna put an outlet in each one and then put a plug on the lights, or if I'm just going to get like a flat plate with a Romex connector to just run this wire right into the box. I haven't decided yet, but yeah, I got time to think about that. Let's see. I do wish these came with a pre-plug on it. That would be kind of nice. Yeah.
It takes the skill out of it though, you know?
Well, this is a little delicate because I don't want to cut the wire, even though I am going to be probably taking
most of it off
later.
Yeah.
But
still don't want to nick it.
It's like normally I would probably take a tool and twist these all together, but I'm not really going to take that time right now because it's all going to get redone. You know, I just want to temporarily hook these up. I usually also tape these off just so there's no bare metal potential. All right, now we just gotta go over here, connect the run that I ended on last night to this light, and that should power up all 12. And then the full power of the sun will be available to us.
Wow, that's actually really bright.
Yeah, I think that'll be plenty bright. So with daylight coming in also, we're at 120 foot candles.
Wow.
Which is awesome.
That's twice the recommended, right?
Well, it depends on your purpose of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously we already know the power of the sun is insane. Over here it's 125, 126. I'm happy with it. All right, so here in the RV space, we're gonna do the lighting a little bit different. We've got an even taller ceiling, and I only have 3 more of the lights that I put here in the workshop area, and I can't buy more. Like, they just don't make them anymore. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. And no matter what, I'm gonna have a different light in here because I've only got 3 more, and 3 is not enough. So we're gonna go ahead and use the high bay LED lights that I had bought to test out. And they are definitely bright, they're awesome, and I think this is a good place for them because I might not even use it that often. This is more like if I wanna bring a car in and wash, you know, the car off and I want a lot of light, it'll give me a lot of light, but not something I will turn on all the time. Like, these are on right now, and there's plenty of light over here to do most things, right? So what Greg and I have to do is figure out where this steel layout is, and I'm a little bit worried because we've already got my attic access up there, and I don't remember thinking about steel layout. So it's been so long, we're gonna go up there and check. Once we figure that out, we'll get these lights ran, and then this is the other box that I didn't show you guys, but this is the other door that kind of comes from my house. And when I walk in, I will be able to turn on these sets of lights with a 3-way switch here, and if I go out that door, I can turn them off, or vice versa. So that is where we ran the power for the middle section. This time we ran the power here because it was a better run, and we'll have our power right here to control the switches on this side, as well as I'm probably gonna do a couple other lights. I don't know, maybe I might do a safety light. I don't know, haven't thought about it yet. Like whenever you walk in here, a motion sensor, and then I also wanna get a light outside. So I got a little bit of work here to do. You know, sometimes you can talk to your blue in the face about what you should or shouldn't do, and I'm just gonna go ahead. I just wired a little plug up here real quick. We're gonna take this up, and Greg, I'm gonna have you do it, okay? I wanna see what the cast shadow is like, because these lights are a little bit different. Because they don't have the diffusion shield on it, they don't shine back up. So these lights, if you look, they have a big bright spot around the light because they're shining up, versus this is gonna be strictly down. I mean, it is made to be in a high bay ceiling somewhere where you don't wanna waste your electricity going up. You want all those lumens going down. So That's kind of why I'm using these ones here, because we're 20 feet in the air. So close your eyes, Greg.
So it's gonna go like.
Oh, dude, yeah, you're shining all the way on the wall. You light that whole freaking wall up. That's gonna be really bright. That's actually kind of nice.
That's gonna be more on the inside of that grid, I assume.
So if you do another one over the, oh yeah, I like this. I like this. This is gonna be great. Yeah. My only question is that too? I want it.
And this is on the 5,000 right now, right?
No, make sure it's on 4K. It should be on 4K.
It's on 5K.
Turn it to 4.
So you're gonna be like right in here then, and that, yeah.
What do you think about that? You want me to go up there and hold it for you to look?
No, I kind of get it.
What do you guys think? I mean, you guys are the ones that are going to critique this. You're going to let me know if it's a good idea or not. Personally, I think that's great. When we get 6 of them in here, it's gonna,
you'll be fine.
You're gonna be able to perform surgery. That's the other channel, though, just so you guys know. Yeah, RR surgery.
Surgery.
Up. Where are you at?
Right on my mark.
I'd say leave it there. Okay, so that's center. That means I'm gonna be 2 inches off from my box. These boxes have to hit the center of the rib spacing because the light itself will go into the trough that the rib creates. We call that the flat. So these are important, and then these lights will go right over top of that box and mount directly into it. I don't care about my concrete. Good job.
You're only saying that because you know nothing will happen if you don't care.
That's right. But if I said, please don't hit my concrete, you would have thrown it, it would have hit the lift and been a total disaster.
Yep.
Oh my God. Greg, you're close, buddy.
Am I?
You're an 1/8 inch off.
No way.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably close enough that I could easily put my light on that and nobody's going to see the difference, but just kick it this way 1/8 inch.
That way 1/8 inch. Shoot.
Hey, everybody knows that even blind squirrels find nuts in forest.
Oop, wrong way.
Let me, just because even though I know I will probably know, I've forgotten more than I've ever learned in my life, so I'm just gonna put south light to south light. Okay. Okay. Not that I'll ever be able to read it, but I'm gonna give you my marker to write on it. And just put a star on it. I'll know what you meant. Because I know I won't be able to read your handwriting. Oops, this is what happens sometimes, Greg, if you don't get a clean break. These do not like to go in.
Because of that little tab.
Yeah, that's why you gotta use a hammer. As long as it pulls fairly easy, we're okay.
A little more.
A little more. Light power is ran. That wasn't too bad. Now we got to run power to the first light, and then we can hook up some switches. And heck yeah, we might get to see some lights here before the end of the day. That would be ideal. Okay. So, something like that, Greg?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Follow this.
So in running this power wire, this is the switched power up to the first light. The first light is right here. This is 6'6" from the wall to this first light. The problem is, something that I didn't consider when designing this air control layer and the way we wanted to frame it, there's a board here in the framing, and then there's a board here. There's like a T up in the corner that defines the corner that allowed us to tape all of our Myrex and get a nice air control layer. The problem is, it doesn't make it easy. We can't come behind this and up into the ceiling. So what we had to do was, if you look over here on this wall, we've got this false wall that is on the outside of this ceiling system. We're able to run our wires. We have a chaseway in there, and that allows us, even though it's a little bit longer wire, we had to probably add 25 feet of wire here to go around. We then went to this first light here instead of this one. So it would have been nice to just go boom, boom. But when we're looking at our air control layer, it makes it easier if we can keep everything inside of it and not have to puncture holes, go into the attic, then go out into the wall, then come back into the inside of the air control layer. Those holes are all air loss, which probably is not much. But if we can have a solution to staying inside, that is kind of my goal. So that's what we did here. It added a little bit of wire, but no big deal. Wire's cheap, you know? Wire's cheap. It's not really. Actually, wire's really expensive. So I do try to think about the most efficient run, not just for cost, but also so you eliminate or limit the voltage drop on the runs. Being a big shop, we got big runs, so that's why I'm using all 12 gauge wire, even though it's these are just lights that I'm only gonna have, you know, maybe 7, 8 amps on a 20 amp circuit. So this is gonna be fun.
Add to it later on, who knows?
I might, I don't know. Dang it. Good thing I got this sick magnetic tipped screwdriver. Sponsored, not sponsored. I'm not even gonna tell you guys who the brand is, because Klein's not paying me to talk about their tools, so I won't mention them. This will be a lot easier to line up when I have the ribs of steel, because this will sit right in the flat and the ribs will be right off to the side, so I can line it up really nicely. But this is just temporary anyway. We just want to get all this up, make sure it's all working, especially before we put our steel on the ceiling. All right, I got all the lights up and wired, so I'm gonna go ahead and hook up power and do the switch. We'll give them a go. It's hooked up to power. See what happens. Boom. Holy cow, now that is awesome. That is actually epic. Look at the light. You know what I did not do though, and I can already see it. These two lights back here are 5000K. Can you guys see it? These are 5000. These are 4000. These are all 4000. So I am very stoked about this. I got all my lights up now in the main shop area. I still do not know what I'm gonna do under here. This up here is like a total wild card. I still gotta do more dreaming up there and make sure that I've got that all planned out. But out here, this is kind of, for me, status quo. I am gonna hopefully make it not just all metal. Like I wanna do some different textures of some sort, but I can't really do much work out here. As you can see, it's barely after work time and it's dark outside. So You know, I needed these lights done. I needed all the electrical buried so that I can get my ceiling done. And I am pretty darn pumped about this. I got light galore out here, more than I thought it was going to be. It's actually awesome. Yeah. I mean, even if I come all the way back here behind the motorhome, the other side of the motorhome, plenty of light. I really am glad I went with this tall ceiling. That tall ceiling allowed me to get those bright lights up there and to shine instead of being really close to the ceiling with the top of the motorhome. Like, that was the whole goal of that area right there, was I didn't want it to feel like it was sitting in a cave. I wanted it to feel open. And I think I accomplished it, guys. So, not the best of quality. I'm just shooting this after the end of the day. I've got my DJI Action. I didn't even mic up. So hopefully the audio's good. And hopefully you guys can really get a feel for how this lighting turned out. I'm pumped. Hey, I appreciate you guys watching. There is a ton of work to do here. I've got the boiler radiant heated system coming soon. I've got a ton of electrical still to run. Obviously, all my outlets. I want to get my overhead door openers in. That's going to require power. The lights were the first thing. Now I can work in here. So you guys hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Make sure you are subscribed to follow along. It doesn't really cost you anything. Just a little click of the button down in the corner. And I appreciate it. Helps, you know, obviously get the word out of the channel. And I appreciate that. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate you. I will see you on the next video. Peace.